everyone, and welcome back to the Real Positive Girl podcast. My name is Sabrina. Happy Wednesday to you all, my friends. Just a reminder that this week we are talking about New Year, same you, new mood. And today, Wednesday, we're going to be talking about plan more stuff that helps you. You're going to love it. But before we dive in to the episode, again, happy Wednesday. I hope that you are having a great midweek experience. I really truly hope that. And if you're having a hard day, if you are feeling a little lackluster, frustrated, you feel weighed down, stress, problems, I always encourage everyone to do the 5-minute reset, which allows you to take at least 5 minutes to be by yourself, to reset, reboot, restart your day right then and there. The 5-minute reset is the perfect thing for you to draw a line in the sand and kind of leave behind the things that were causing you trouble for that day, restart your day right then and there, and be able to not let those things continually weigh you down and still enjoy your day. I encourage everyone to, take some time to come up with any resolutions for any problems or issues that you're dealing with. It also allows you to take a break from any burdens and issues, problems that are actually weighing you down. I always encourage everyone to come up with a list of at least 4 things that you are grateful for, big, small, medium size. Maybe you are grateful that you have started like a movie run, when you just like get into this wave of watching certain movies. My husband right now is I feel like every night he's watching some sort of Disney movie, Universal movie, or one of the Harry Potters, because we are getting ready to go on vacation down there to Florida to experience all that stuff for our daughter's 13th birthday. So maybe you are excited about just getting on a movie run where you just like get on a kick and watch a series or just watch a bunch of movies back to back to back. Maybe you are happy that you are finally getting to bed early today. Like you are just had planned it out. You're going to have a nice little like cozy take care of yourself night and then go to bed on time early so you can feel refreshed. Maybe you're grateful that you actually got up on time and got yourself together, because I've always been a morning person, but there definitely have been years where I struggled to like get up on time. And I think it's more about drive and passion and willingness, to actually cultivate a morning kind of situation experience that you actually enjoy. So maybe you've kind of figured out what that is, or maybe you're just grateful that you finally started working out, or you've kind of hit your stride in working out and finding a program that suits you. You can literally be grateful for anything. That means the list is endless, never ending, which is absolutely fantastic. And last but not least, before you end your 5-minute reset, I would encourage you and hope that you are feeling at least neutral, if not positive, about the rest of your day, because hopefully reflecting on things that you are grateful for and just taking the time to reflect on your blessings and positivity in your life, that you will realize that focusing more on those things will help you get through the hard negative things that are kind of bringing you down, where focus goes, energy flows. I think that's what it is. So I would encourage you to do the 5-minute reset if you think it would help you. But I do hope that you're having a fantabulous Wednesday. Like I said at the top of the show, this week we are talking about New Year, same you, new mood. And today, Wednesday, we are going to chat about plan more stuff that helps you. So let's just dive right in. I didn't want to title this self-care because everyone in the world talks about self-care, including me. Even me, I definitely think I have like a whole week talking about it. So let's just speak on things in general that are helpful to start the year off. And I don't really have a long introduction on like what those things should mean to you and this, that, and the other. I think it's pretty definitive understanding that it's important for you to impart, whether you want to label it self-care or just fantastic things that you decide to do with your life. You should add things in there that really benefit you utmostly positively. Wow, that didn't make any sense. To the highest power of positivity that you can. Things that pamper you, things that take care of you, things that set you up for success, right? Things that make you happy, things that bring you joy, things that bring you peace, things that help you deflate stress and anxiety. I would say it's a mix of those things. And I feel like sometimes self-care things will take care of some of those. But I'm not sure necessarily that, well, I guess you could qualify some getting organized or just feeling like you are prioritizing things right could be considered self-care. I don't think traditionally, as a lot of people will label it, because a lot of people do label it as like those fun, relaxing things like bubble baths, reading books, taking naps. I would agree that there was recently someone else, I forget who it was, I was like scrolling by it briefly, talking about how self-care actually can be the notion of doing the hard things that you don't want to do, but that they will take care of you, like actually being honest with yourself, actually saying out loud like the things that you want, the things that you desire, admitting to yourself the fears and anxieties that you have that are preventing you from doing this, that, and the other, actually taking the time to, step outside of yourself, shift your perspective, widen it up a little bit, and understand that there are so many things that you were holding back from yourself that if you actually just like open the floodgates even just a little bit and let some of those emotions, vulnerabilities, just truths come through, you would be a better, stronger person. It would actually help you live your life even better. And those are really tough. Don't get me wrong, I agree. Those are really hard things to do. And sometimes we're not ready for that, or sometimes we just haven't hit the moment where it's crucial for us to do that yet. And that's fine. I'm not here to judge anyone. It's not my job. And it's not really your job to judge anyone else. We're just in charge of what we're doing. And we need to focus on us. So, yeah. So self-care can be fun things. Self-care can be hard things. And today I'm just really going to talk about 7 things that I think you could add to your life at the top of the year, or really any part of the year, but things that would be helpful at the top of the year to help you just, really take care of yourself, put yourself first, help you succeed, help you continue on that journey to be your best self. So the first one that I have to share with you is, we're just going to jump right in, is to make the lists. If you look at the notes in the description box, you will see that bullet point, make the lists. Make the list that you find most important to you. So I like to make lists a lot. I have several apps on my phone that are dedicated to just list making. I'm obsessed. I have many a notebook with lots of lists where I love to check things off or cross them out. Any planner or journal that I have, generally there's a list in there. I'm obsessed with lists. Maybe lists aren't your thing, but maybe lists aren't your thing because you've never tried to do it electronically, or maybe you've only done it electronically and you haven't done it on like a notebook or in your planner. Maybe you've never created lists in your planner and you're like a planner person. I would encourage you to try to make lists. And maybe you're like, Sabrina, no one needs a list. I don't follow lists. I'm not going to go check back on that list. Maybe you should try it. I love lists, and not just for like what I need to buy at Target. I laugh. I genuinely laugh because I truly believe in that like joke of like, you don't tell Target what you want. Target tells you what you want. And I have a problem. I can fully admit it. My husband knows I have a problem. I love Target so much. I was at Target today. Honestly, I held back from really buying a lot of things that I didn't need. I actually walked out of the store, I think spending less than $50, which rarely happens. What was the point of this? Oh yeah, so I'm just laughing because, oh, Target, why do you do it to me? But it doesn't have to be a list of things you're going to buy at Target or the grocery store or your actual like to-do list of the day. Maybe you want to make a list of skills that you want to, work on throughout the year, like month to month. Maybe you have a list of different hobbies that you want to try out and see if those fit, or maybe you have a list of TV shows that you want to watch. I think that's fine. Maybe there's been several things suggested to you. You want to try those out. Maybe you have a list of books you want to read. I genuinely have a list of books that I want to read and actually get through this year. I'm super excited about that. Maybe your list is of different ways for you to cope with your anxiety, with your depression, right? So maybe, if you have high functioning anxiety like I do, or you just like cancel plans at the last minute, or you tune out of conversations because you're so worried about making a good impression or something else that's on your mind. Like there's a myriad of symptoms that come with high functioning anxiety. Maybe you want to make a quick list of things that you've researched that are supposed to help with, being able to tackle your anxiety. And I think that's a great list to make, and you can slowly try those different things to help you feel more calm. And maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, maybe some will, maybe some won't. That's just regular. but that could be a great list for you to make. Maybe you will make a traditional self-care list of like things that were really comforting to you that you enjoyed doing, and just to have a list to peruse when you are in the mood to do that. Maybe it is take a bath, maybe it is read a book, maybe it is go on a walk, maybe it's to do something with your hands. So maybe you like to do gardening, or you want to do like a Zen garden. People still do those. I think they do. I'm not sure. Or maybe you want to do like an arrangement in your house. A lot of people are into the super like big vases, and they have like pampas grass or whatever in it, maybe you want to come up with a list of things that will help you overcome your anxiety. That would be fantastic. Maybe it's a list of things that you want to, let's see. Maybe it's some like exercises or sports that you want to try out, Maybe it's colors of nail polish. I have no idea, but it can be any kind of list that you want. But I just encourage you to make some lists, I feel like making lists will really like put the thoughts in your mind out there somewhere that's actually, solid and real, as opposed to just letting it be a fleeting thought in your mind. So I encourage you that by implementing making lists of different things that will help you do different things in your life and help you feel better, it will definitely implement maybe it could turn into a habit. It's definitely a habit for me, but just an exercise and really like dumping things out of your brain. A list of, places you want to go out to eat when restaurants open up again, or maybe a list of friends that you want to hang out with once you are allowed to do that. A list of, outdoor activities at places you can't currently go to. You know what I mean? So I encourage you, make the lists. The next one I want to suggest is to create a mini routine. So I specifically put in here mini routine because I know that, at least for me and a lot of people, the idea of creating a full out routine, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, or evening, or whenever it is, can seem very overwhelming. It is for me. That's actually one of my struggles right now, guys. Like one of my biggest struggles right now is needing to implement a proper, and in my personal mind, proper morning routine. So typically what I'll do more often than not is I will get up and I will wrestle with myself for like 10 or 15 minutes about like, should I get up? Shouldn't I get up? I get up. And then I get dressed and I take my dog and I let him out while I stretch and get my shoes on. And then I go out to our home gym in the garage and I work out. And then after I work out, depending upon what time it is, I will take a long shower or a short shower, and then I will come to my desk and I will work. And that is the end of the routine. And I need the routine to be longer. And I am a morning person. I love the morning time. However, I have no desire to get up earlier than I already am. You know what I mean? And so it's like, okay, I need to figure out a way to add in, practicing a little bit of meditation, working on entries in my manifestation journal, or, having some prayer time, having a dedicated time to create my gratitude list, which you can do anytime. But, I would love to have a time where I'm dedicated, sitting down, writing it down. I used to have a time where I literally write it in my planner every single morning when we lived at our old home. Life is kind of shuffled around now. It's different. I feel like we are in a totally different season of life. So right now I am struggling with creating like a full blown out routine. How people will talk about, or they'll be on YouTube, and I love YouTube, by the way. I'm trying to revive my channel on there so I can have like a quick motivational videos. Tell me, check the description box, send me a DM on Instagram or an email. Let me know if you'd be interested in those quick hit videos of like motivational, inspirational kind of things. Not super cheesy. I don't know. Might be cheesy. I don't know. But I think it would be like less than 10 minutes every single time. And it could be helpful, and it could be happy and fun and real and authentic, No, hit me up. Give me some feedback on that. But yeah, do you ever like watch those videos on YouTube where people are talking about, this is my morning routine, this is my night routine, this is my skincare routine, this is my, prepping food for the week routine. And I admire them for actually having these solid routines, because the only routine I have right now is to get up, work out, and then go to work. And I wish it was a little bit more relaxing. And luckily, since I work from home, I'm personally thinking maybe this will help you, which is why I'm sharing, because maybe my experiences will help you. I'm thinking that I could still do that same routine, but if I could somehow just finagle in 10 extra minutes, it would give me some time to create my gratitude list and to say a quick prayer and then start work. And then usually by 2 hours in of my work, since my job is a little bit more flexible, I can get up and then do my manifestation like planner journal situation. And then I have done meditation in the middle, like the smack dab middle in the day, like right before lunch, like right before like 1 o'clock. And that's felt good too, because it helps me to like recenter and understand like what I'm doing that day. Because I feel like a lot of times I feel like I kind of rush into the day because, I'm coming in hot from that workout, whatever it is. So I just think that would help. What do you think? I think that's what I'm going to do. But I have a problem though implementing it, but I would still say that's like a mini routine. That's full on like 45-minute routine, because you might think, oh, Sabrina, but you're working out for that long. Yeah, I am. But that's why I feel like it's not a full routine, because it's literally just me getting up, let the dog out, and then go work out. Like, those people that have those routines where they're writing in their journals and they're praying and, they're reading a book and they're, enjoying their coffee and their breakfast and they're going on a walk outside and just living their best life. Like, I'm not making fun of anyone here, just so you know. I admire them. 100,000,000% I do. But I think that if you are anything like me, going after creating a mini routine where you're just adding in a couple things together as opposed to like a whole drawn out thing. If that's too overwhelming for you, don't worry, girl, we will get there. Don't worry, we will eventually get there. But just starting with a mini one, kind of like, easing your way in, baby steps to a routine. I think it's the best way. It doesn't have to be in the morning. It can be in the afternoon. It can be in the evening. You can have several different routines throughout the day. Try it. I encourage you to do it. I'm going to try to do it. Let's do it together. I'm excited. The next one that I want to suggest is to save some money. So I didn't want to be specific about this because you know how tips are like, yeah, create a savings account, save money for this, that, and the other. I just think you should save some money. So whether that is creating a savings account, whether that is getting a credit card if you feel you can handle the responsibility of a credit card, I truly mean that. And I say that from the bottom of my heart without offending anyone, because when I was younger, I got a credit card. It was only $500. I maxed it out in an instant. It ruined my credit because I was not taught finances very well growing up. It just wasn't a thing. My husband, to the moon, knew about finances. So, but he also made some mistakes on his credit card too, trying to impress a girl, me. And so we learned together. So that's why I don't go in lightly. Don't just accept the biggest balance you can get and then think that you can pay it off later and spend. Be responsible. But if one of your ways of saving money is to get a credit card that has really good cashback benefits, which is one that we have, like the Costco card, or I believe that the Citi MasterCard double cashback card, that's a great card. There's a lot of other cards that are good too. I guess it just depends on what you spend your money on. I heard they Alaska Airlines mileage card is good if you do like to fly a lot. I know a lot of us aren't doing that right now, but anyway, I would just encourage you. Maybe you want to get a credit card where you get cash back, and that can help you put it back on and pay the bill, or maybe that'll help you to create a little nest egg and you can save up for when we are able to fly again and you can go on vacation, or just have a big fun celebration with friends, whatever it is you might want. Maybe you're saving extra cash for the next holiday, next Christmas time, your birthday, what have you, but yeah, you can save money that way. Like I said, start a savings account. Maybe you just want to actually evaluate what you are currently spending your money on. And I would encourage everyone to do this. So I would encourage you to take the last 2 or 3 months of your bank statement, not the month that you're in, but the previous ones, evaluate what you're spending your money on, and ask yourself if you can just go without those things for the next 6 months and figure out how to save that cash and then realize how much money you're saving. So for example, maybe you go and get coffee, maybe cut that out, or maybe cut it back. If you go every single day, maybe you can only go once or twice. Do you really need to go to Target that much? There's definitely many times in my life where I had to not go to Target as much. That's a work in progress, but we're all working towards our personal goals. Maybe you can spend more time budgeting and making lists of exactly what you need to buy at the grocery store, rather than just wandering through every single aisle and buying what you feel like in the moment and not really planning it out. You actually plan meals and plan to actually use the food you buy and don't let it go to waste, right? There's so many different ways that you can save money, and it doesn't matter which way you choose, but I would encourage you to choose one just because it's important. Finances are important. Fiscal responsibility and knowing what that's all about, it's really important, and it'll set you up for a great year and years to come if you continue to follow in those awesome ideas, whichever one that would fit you best. The next one that I want to suggest to you, that's something that's a stuff that will help you, is to learn something fun. So a lot of people talk about how it's really important for you to implement something to learn throughout the new year. And I think that's important too, but I wanted to emphasize learn something fun. So, you could spend some time learning about personal finances. Yeah, but that's not going to be fun, right? You should still do that, but I think that you should also learn about something fun. So maybe learn a history about an event that you really enjoy, or maybe you want to learn how to do something, which would be like learning how to play guitar, learning how to surf, learning how to snowboard. Learning how to snowboard is on my list for next winter, so I'm very excited about that. Despite the fact that I grew up, born and raised in Alaska, I never did any snowboarding or skiing when I was there. I did a lot of inner tubing and sledding, snowshoeing, ice skating, all of those things. I never did snowboarding or skiing because my dad always assumed I would break my leg. We didn't have medical insurance, so a girl can't go. But my goal is to go, especially since I live in Washington State. We have access to snow. It's going to be a fantastic thing. So I encourage you to find something fun that you want to learn. Maybe you want to, maybe you enjoy reading books and you want to learn how to speed read. I do know that this was a really big thing that I kept seeing last year. Every time I opened social media, I think it was Jim Quick was teaching how to speed read so that you can, absorb information a lot quicker, speed read and actually understand it. So maybe you really enjoy reading books, which I do, and you think it would be fun to learn how to speed read so you can read even more books. That's an option. I just encourage you to find something that you can learn that would actually be fun, that actually holds your attention, that would actually keep you coming back for more and more and more. Maybe it's a cooking class online, maybe it's to learn how to knit, I don't know, but I encourage you to find one. The next one is to choose some healthy goals. So a lot of people will say to attach yourself to a diet, to an exercise program, whatever it is. I just want to encourage you to choose some healthy goals, okay? And just so you know, it's not that I'm trying to be super Switzerland over here and just be right in the middle. It's more of I think that you are responsible enough to make your own choices and decisions on what you think will fit best for you. I'm not here to tell you that you have to exercise and do a certain program. I'm not here that you have to choose a diet. I do not think that everyone needs to be on a diet, not a specific diet where these are the specific things you can eat. I think that you need to eat for your own personal nutrition and whatever goals that you have in your own personal health. Everyone's different. Everyone has different issues. I'm not going to recommend the way that I eat with my issues with autoimmune disease and also wanting to lose a little bit of weight to someone else that is super healthy athlete and doing their best life, or even my 12-year-old daughter. They're not necessarily synonymous or complementary of each other. I'm not going to say that that's the best way you should do, but I do think that everyone should incorporate some healthy goals, and I do think that everyone should find a way to incorporate movement. So whether that is running or jogging, or maybe you want to weight lift, or maybe you want to do CrossFit, or maybe you want to do rollerblading. I've seen a lot of people on Instagram doing rollerblading. That seemed really fun. Or even just walking. Honestly, I agree. I think there was a video recently where Gary Vee was talking about no, not Gary Vee. I apologize. Gary Vee is who he trained. So Jordan Syatt. So Syatt at Syatt Fitness on Instagram. Great follow. If you get offended by people cursing though, just know that he curses a lot, but I feel like he means well. I just kind of get through it. I don't curse myself, but I just get by that because he has such sound information about health and nutrition and working out. Anyway, he was talking about recently how walking is one of the most underrated things that you can do for your health. You think it's not going to really do a lot and you think you'll have to work at it even harder, but honestly, if you make it a habit to be every single day and you continue to do it and you maybe increase your mileage over time, you can really feel healthy. And even if you're not looking to lose weight or anything like that, it can just improve your cardio status, your heart in general, and get you outside with some fresh air, or maybe you want to do it on a treadmill and it just really gets you moving, keeps your body going, and I just think that's something important that we all should choose the best movement that we would want to do. I encourage you to do whatever else is healthier for you. Maybe you're going to decide to, stick with the way you eat right now. You like it, but maybe you're going to eat a little bit less sugar, or maybe not have so much caffeine because it affects you in a certain way, and you think that would make you feel better. better? Yes, do that. Find something healthy that you can do like that. Or maybe you are going to combine this one and the last one, and then find like a cooking class where you can learn how to make a lot of your favorite meals, but a little bit healthier, That would be a fun thing to do and something that would improve your health. So I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about here, but find something that would contribute to a healthy goal that fits you. Maybe it's just committing to parking in the way back part of the parking lot. However, I think if you have kids, I'd be wary of that. I'm wary of that. And my kid's super older, but it's just the whole like people trying to jump you in the back of the parking lot. So if you have a lot of kids that are super young and you have to like get them all strapped in and stuff, I'd be concerned about that. I don't want to freak you out. It's just a recent video I saw, and it makes me concerned and sad for mamas out there that are just trying to do their best and people are trying to kidnap kids. Anyway, let's move on from that. But yeah, so do whatever safe thing you can do. Park as far away as you can to increase your steps. That could really help. Second to last suggestion is to plan time with people you care about. A lot of people would say spend more time with family and friends. Maybe those are not the people that you care about, and that's okay. That's totally fine. If someone said that to me, it would be like, yeah, okay. But there would be a few people in my life that I would want to spend more time with that aren't necessarily classified as family or even friends. They're just like acquaintances, or they're just people that I like to be in their presence because they're so inspiring and motivating and encouraging, kind of like a role model situation, you know what I mean? So I encourage you to find those people, seek them out, plan the time when you can, when it's safe, when you feel comfortable doing so, of actually spending more time with them in person, not just over chat or over Zoom or whatever. Actually hang out with them, talk with them, have a drink with them, eat dinner with them, get together, have some time together, face to face, smile to smile, so that you can, continue to rejuvenate that energy and joy that you get inside of yourself when you actually hang out with people that understand you, that love you, that care for you, that are there for you in your life. And the last suggestion that I have for you today is to prioritize authenticity. One of the most important things at the top of the year is or anytime, honestly, all year long, remind yourself that authenticity is one of the most important things that you could foster in your life. Being authentic to who you are, despite what other people may think, say, their opinions, which, just so you know, opinions are not facts, they're opinions. It's so important. It sets you free from expectations and fear and, those uncomfortable feelings of not wanting to be who you are because of what other people will do to you. And I know that it takes time to create the courage to go out there and do that. I understand that. But honestly, if I could say anything to you, and I was only able to say one quick thing to you to encourage you to embrace authenticity and foster it in your life, is that if you don't do it, you're going to be missing out on the best part of you. You're going to be missing out on the joy and excitement that you get out of the littlest things that someone else might not care about. You're going to miss out on you having the courage and the strength to just go out there and be ambitious and chase after those goals and dreams that people don't think that you'll achieve, but you know that you will. You have to be authentic to yourself. You have to just learn how to roll with people not liking you, not accepting you, giving you their unsolicited opinions. And once you can get past those hurdles, those really hard things, you will be so set free and it'll feel so good. And you can help other people by demonstrating that being authentic may not be easy in the beginning, but is something that just makes you feel so much more comfortable with yourself and so much more courageous to go after the things that you feel deep in your heart that you're passionate about, right? Yeah, you'll just feel good. And that's the feelings that I'm continually getting by striving to be more and more authentic each and every day. So, okay, you guys, well, that's all I have to say on plan more stuff that helps you, essentially self-care and all the things that you could start implementing in your life at the top of the year, but really any time of the year. Thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast. Again, my name is Sabrina. Happy Wednesday to you all. Thank you so much for listening, downloading, sharing. You guys are amazing. So freaking amazing. Thank you so much. I encourage you to check the description box and come check out the notes for the show, and then come and chat with me or send me a DM on Instagram or email me with any questions, comments, concerns, prayer requests, feedback, topic suggestions, or just to say hey, hi, and hello to me. Just so you know, I did do a little poll on Instagram. I appreciate the few people that did respond. I really do. About like getting rid of that page because it's hard for me to manage 2 pages, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get rid of that page. And if you're disappointed about that, I understand and I hear you and I get it. But it's also too much for me to manage. It's literally just going to be a page out there that I'm going to try to remember one week and forget the next, and then go back and forth from that. And that's not really fair to you. And I know that it's probably just something that you slide by and you're just like a reminder, but you're still welcome to come over to my personal page where I will still be sharing constant reminders of what we're talking about on the podcast. You know, hopefully getting into the groove of like having more people come, doing giveaways, sharing more information, and you'll be able to actually, you know, talk to me, see what I do day to day, how I'm practicing authenticity. I'm actually going to start a challenge next month on that page in February, encouraging you to show up for yourself and be more authentic each and every day and things like that. So I just encourage you to come. Let me know, say hi. I would love to speak with you and talk with you, engage with you. It's my favorite thing. But that's all I have to say. I'm going to let you go since it has been a half an hour, but thank you so much for listening. I hope you come back tomorrow where we're talking about setbacks or stumbling blocks, not stop signs. But until then, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.